Hey everyone, it's Jerome Zaran here, and we're here with Ascended Master Chung Fu, speaking through Sally, Priestess and Oracle of the Goddess. And in this episode, we're talking about overcoming ego barriers and wounding and obstacles driven by ego that hinder unification with the higher self. Blessings and love.
Greetings dear ones, I am Chung Fu. It is a delight to speak with you again today. This work of the soul in the body, heart and mind, this deep place of transformation as you come to understand your own being, to feel these places I'm talking about that are within you, your wisdom, your higher self, your deep understanding that is in your soul. It's already there. It is about uncovering, really revealing yourself. And I'm sure you know that from life, you know, you hide certain aspects of your being. Of course you do, because you're afraid. And there are reasons to be afraid. You know, you're not just afraid because, you know, there's no reason. Fear always has a reason. But this is the thing. You have to find out why you're afraid to be your full self. You know, one of the strongest themes in my work, and many very evolved souls come to me and yet they're still hiding. They're still not really opening up and becoming visible in the world, and yet they are the most evolved and conscious beings. But there's a program there that says, yes, but if I show that, I'll probably get, you know, murdered, pushed over, you know, I'll probably, you know, make people jealous of me. They'll probably treat me badly, throw mud at me. Who knows? It's happened before. You can feel it. That is human nature. All of those ills and all of those places where you have suffered, it has been because of the human consciousness. It did not happen from the divine. It happened from the aberrations of the consciousness of men and women upon the earth. And so it's quite right that your inner world, for a start, it's a made-up world. You could say it's a world that's been created. We can say the divine was you know, there creating the universe, but consciousness or lack of consciousness has then been what has been added to that divine creation. And where we really are within the progression here of the divine plan upon the earth is it's time now to renew that creation, to let go of some of the old forms that have died. And you are those who are coming forward, and first you're working on yourself to become that creative being that you came here to be. And then you will be, in that sense, working with others to create the unity and the community and the connections across the whole of the earth. That means you can actually bring these visions of the new earth into realization, into physical form. And so working on yourself is very necessary, because unless the creators are clear, well, obviously you understand that what they create will be full of the same unclarity that they are full of. And so clearing, what does this mean? And what are the things that need to be cleared? What are the elements within your psyche that are in the way, that block the passage, the extraordinary divine presence that actually wants to come through you? What is stopping that? Fear. You know, that's really the bottom line. You can go through all the emotions and eventually the negative emotions, and eventually you come to fear. Why? What is that fear? It is born of the illusion of separation, that you are separate. And somehow you dropped away from God, Goddess. You just kind of floated off and lost that connection. But that's an illusion. That's simply not true. However, we'll go on with describing what happens when you have that illusion. When you lose your identity, your true identity, well, guess what? You need one, so you make one up, and that's the ego. You make something up. You look around you, you feel bereft inside, and I'll be like that, or I'll model myself on, and you see all the beings in the world, and there are many. Oh, there are so many now that are actually very separated from divine source. But you might follow them, and you might even be taught by them, and they might even say they're a very spiritual teacher, and you will believe something that is, in a sense, egoic. That isn't, in other words, it's not the true divine you. It's not your highest self that's coming from the source. It's pretending to be high. It's pretending to be knowledgeable. It's using the mind to create a shape that feels quite like who you truly are. But it's not who you truly are, because you're not comfortable and you're not fully in. And somewhere inside, you know, there's another part of you that you really want to be, but this part's more comfortable because this part doesn't take you into all the pain and it stays on top. And so examples of egoic behavior: judgment, judging others, lifting, needing to be higher than others, needing to be in a place of power over anyone. Jealousy, jealousy is always where you feel the other has got something that you feel you should have, or you could have, and probably you do have, but you didn't take the trouble to evolve that part of yourself. So that's a very big part of egoic wounding. Jealousy. Projection. Really blame. I say judgment. You judge another and you say they're bad and everything's because of them. And somehow also, if you bring yourself into the equation and you say, well, they did that to me and they're bad because of that. And, and you don't actually consider at all your place within that dynamic. That is egoic. Because egoic is basically where you have lost your divine perspective. You have lost your divine essence. You no longer identify as the divine. In fact, you criticize people that identify. You're on an ego trip. You think you're God. No. And you, in that sense, disempower those who are reaching for the divine essence and bring them down, because it can get very complicated. So in relationship with others, what you often seem to get is that a being who has a weak ego will connect or attach to a being with a strong ego, and they will kind of shore each other up and go along together for a while until they fall out, because ego does not have deep soul love. And that is the biggest determining factor of all, is when you feel inside yourself and you say, well, where is this thought or this feeling actually coming from? Is it coming from love, or is it coming from fear, anger, judgment, and a desire to control another? So these are egoic strands, and within you, you always know. You absolutely know where love is or where love isn't. And that is the question to ask yourself. And if you find that you are in some way tied up with a lack of love, with judgment, with anger and fear inside you, and you're feeling really constricted and tight, try to come back to that breathing that we spoke of. Remember, if you're not feeling love, your higher self can't possibly be in. Come back. There are many ways that I will help you as we go deeper into the work to come back to yourself, to realize that you got pulled out, and that when you're pulled out, you have no personal power. And that makes you then afraid. That makes you start to construct all the defenses, which are the ego. The ego which tries to, in a sense, blind people as to what is really true about you, that you feel vulnerable, that you feel hurt, that you are afraid. But in this work, you see, when you understand that's the root cause of egoic, manufactured, unreal you, it's because there's a fear, there's a pain, there's a wound, which you don't want to look at, or you don't even know it's there perhaps. And so in the places where you feel uncomfortable in your life, where you feel that I've got to kind of wear this mask and go to this job, and that's not really me and nobody knows me here, try to think to yourself, well, actually, why doesn't the real me go to the job? Because all situations can yield love and connection for me, whether it's the office, the school, at home, the relationship. Wherever I go in my life, I bring my higher self, I bring my love, and I create love. And once you can think like that and change your reality to where you only have to really look for a moment and have a very simple question, which is, well, is what I just did coming from love? Is what I just said, is it what I just thought, is it coming fundamentally from love? And of course, that might sound very kind of generic, because love has indeed many forms. But that's all right, because you have to learn to distinguish the many forms of love and the many forms of unconsciousness and fear that in fact block love. So the big clue is, as you go through your day, as you go through your life, know yourself, understand yourself, and love and forgive yourself for any so-called imperfections. Realize that these things called mistakes, these events in your life where you feel, oh, that went wrong, no, I wish I could do that again, oh, I've lost, oh, whatever that is, remember. It is literally about remembering. Remember to come back to you, to breathe. Start exercising your spiritual qualities of loving you, of taking care of you. If you have crystals, put them on your body, shungite, tourmaline, dark smoky crystal, and all the crystals that you love, put them on your body to help dissolve the feelings of despair, of stress, and self-blame. Allow yourself to make mistakes, so-called. And don't call them mistakes. Simply know that they are experiments that you conducted. You tried something that didn't work, but that's all right. You learned something then. And keep feeling gratitude, even on the worst of days. And keep expecting that the love and the brilliance of your higher self is going to dissolve your egoic nature. Because you need a little bit of your egoic nature to carry on in your life. But your egoic nature can become infused with your higher self presence. So you don't have to throw anything away. Everything within you is purposeful and powerful and ready to be activated to express the best you possible. Blessings and peace to you one. Hi everyone, I hope you enjoyed that transmission from Chung Fu. I'm really excited to let you know that I'm doing a free webinar in a few weeks' time where I'll talk about this work, this deep soul work with Ascended Master Chung Fu, the angels, with your higher self, how to bring your own connection with the spirits and bring in the new. I really look forward to working with you in my free webinar in a few weeks' time. Watch for the date.